Hi, so here I am talking about my journey through depression and anxiety. So I'll just wait on a few people to come on. Hello. Hey Ange, welcome guys. Hi Nat. Hey. God, it's cold tonight. Freezing. Hey you. Hey Tess. Hey Joe. Hi Ange again. Good evening. So guys, I'm just going to start, and whoever is watching this on replay, welcome as well. So I'll get started. On what I've been through and how I've overcome my depression and anxiety. So it started about 11 years ago. It was early August. One day I got up and decided that I needed to go shopping. So I went shopping, and I was in Target, and I thought, actually I went to Target to buy a top. It was going to be my brother-in-law's 40th. So I thought, I'll go buy a top for that day. I remember it clearly. And I was in Target and I'm looking for a top, and then all of a sudden started getting really flushy and hot, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. It felt really weird. Started getting nauseous, and I thought, oh, this is weird. Never felt all this before. Everything was fine. I was feeling fine just before I left, so I was wondering what was this. Anyway, I didn't end up buying anything. I ended up going home. And I remember calling my friend Sandra, as I knew she'd be home, and I told her, I'm not feeling really well. I'm just lying down. I don't know what's going on. I feel really sick and nauseous. I've got no energy. So she asked me to go over, and I went over, and we had a chat, we had a coffee, and I was feeling a little bit better. And then we were just going through, like, what am I feeling, blah, 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 all that stuff. And yet, came to conclusion maybe I have a virus or something. Hi Liz. Hi Joes. So anyway, I decided to go home. I went home and I just had no energy. I didn't know what was wrong. I was hot. I was feeling so hot. And all of a sudden I started crying. I lay down on the couch and I said to myself, I don't know what's going on. This feels really terrible. I can't breathe. I'm struggling to breathe. And anyway, hubby came home from work and I said to him, I don't feel very well. And I remember mum came over as well. And I think it was in the evening, hubby ended up taking me to the hospital. I go to my husband, I'm not feeling really well. Went to the hospital and they examined me and blah, blah, blah. Nothing was wrong. They gave me a tablet and I felt a little bit better. I can't remember what the tablet was, but I'm thinking now it probably was Valium or something. I don't know. Next day, I felt worse. And my mum ended up taking me to just the local GP here. I'd never seen him before. So I thought, I'll go there and ask questions and stuff. And he said, oh, it seems like you've got depression. Just like that. So in 2 days, he said, yep, you've got depression. Here are some depression tablets. Without anything. Here, just take these. I said, me? Nah, I don't have depression. I'm a happy person. How can I have depression? Went home, and then it lasted for another 3 days, and I ended up going back to the hospital, and they again said they didn't know what was wrong with me. Well, I'm sure they did, but they probably didn't. I don't know. They didn't tell me. Ended up seeing my proper GP, Dr. Solomon. I love Dr. Solomon. he got me to do a test, where I don't know if many of you have written one of these forms. You just write down, it tells you what's your anxiety level, 1 to 10, or, blah, blah. And I did mine. And he said, look, Joe, he goes, it seems like you've got anxiety. And I said, but I don't feel anxious. It's really weird. I don't really feel anxious. I don't feel depressed. So I don't know. I do cry, and sometimes I don't realize what I'm crying about. But yeah. So anyway, he prescribed me a drug called Prestige, 50 milligrams. But he said, before I take them, I need you to see a psychologist. No, psychiatrist. Because I think the psychiatrists are the ones you see first and then the psychologist after. He was an old man and it was all right, but yeah, I think I did most of the talking and most of advice. So I think I ended up seeing him twice. And every time he was writing down stuff, he's going, oh, I'm learning more from you. And I'm thinking, hang on, I should be learning more from you. So I don't know what experience everyone else has had with psychiatrists, but that's what my experience was like. He did say, yep, take Prestige, 50 milligrams, and see how you go. So I started taking them one a day. And I was still struggling. Mum came over to help a lot. So, she was a really big help at that time, and hubby, of course. I didn't feel quite right on 50 milligrams. I thought, I'm not feeling right. It can't be depression and anxiety. It just can't be, because wouldn't I feel better now? So I ended up going back to my GP, and I said to him, look, I'm still not feeling well. He goes, look, I'll put you up onto 100 and see how you go. I said, cool. Look, I was never a person to say no to prescription drugs, because I prefer to feel better than feel miserable. So started on the 100 and I started feeling a lot better. Thank goodness. Now, this is when I started to see the psychologist. She was a lovely psychologist as well on Melton. And she got me to open up about my past and things I've been through, just to see maybe why I'm feeling what I'm feeling. So, you start opening up. So she said, look, it sounds like post-traumatic syndrome. So then again, I started opening up about what I went through in my past. So it had brought up that when I was 21, I lost the love of my life, Corey. He passed away. I watched him pass away with leukemia. We were planning to get married and we had a big future. We planned a lot. So to watch him pass away, it was probably the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. And I really sort of held that in at the time. I didn't get a chance to grieve, I think, at that time. As much as I cried and I missed him, and it did sort of, I lost a lot of weight. I was really depressed at that time, I think. But it was a different kind of depression. I didn't feel like I felt that 11 years ago. So I felt like, she said to me, like, you didn't deal with it at that time. A lot of things happened so quickly. I had met my now husband, which was, I only met him like 3 months later, and went overseas and travelled. I sort of pushed it aside, I think, and I didn't want to see my loved ones watch me suffering. So I sort of tried to be strong in front of them. So in a way, like, if when they used to see me cry, they used to say, oh, this and that, don't cry, blah blah blah. So of course you're gonna leave it in. You're not going to, no one sort of gave me a chance to express myself. Meeting my husband was amazing. He was a lot of help, so it helped me cope as well. And other things that happened was having my son being diagnosed with autism when he was 3 years old. That was pretty hard on both hubby and myself. Again, you cry, you have your cry, and you move on, and you try and overcome whatever it is. Try and be there for your kid. So I volunteered a lot at school with him to make sure he wasn't bullied. I think I had that fear as well, that my children would be bullied in school. So I spent a lot of time with my kids. Then there was a time, I think it was probably about a year-ish, not even, probably a few months before I started getting these depression and anxiety feeling. We had a family issue, and I felt like I was in the middle of this issue. I was bouncing off everybody because, you know, of course I was the go-to person that had to try and fix things. I felt like I had to fix it, and which is all my life, that's how I've been. I've always wanted to fix things. So when it's out of your control, then you start going crazy, I guess. So that, I think that took a lot out of me. It was around the time also that my daughter Brooke came out, that she is gay. But that didn't bother me at all. I knew since she was 3 years old that she will one day come out and say that she is. And that was fine. I think I was more worried about her and how she will go socially, how people will take it. Though I must say that when it did happen, I went to my family members, my in-laws, my parents, and I said, look, Brooke, your granddaughter's gay, deal with it. I don't want to hear any more from it. So, yeah, I found that if you're straightforward, you won't have to worry about issues anymore or anyone talking about it. So you know, I was worried about her, worried about my son, worried about my family, going through a death, sort of brought it all out. So I think your body ends up not coping, I guess. I felt like it was more like a nervous breakdown more than anything, more than a depression or an anxiety. Because I still felt okay. Like, it's hard to explain. I still felt okay. You know, I thought, oh, I'm dealing with this. Excuse me, I'll just ate. So why am I feeling, you know, like I was? Anyway, so again, so while I was on, when I was on the 50 milligrams of Restique, when I was first diagnosed, it was really bad. I ended up, I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I cried all the time. I was always so anxious, you know, and to be honest, I always wonder why I went through this, which is, I'm so glad that I have gone through it, because I'm here to help, like I'm hoping to help other people with it. Where was I getting at? Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. See? Jump one thing to another. So anyway, again, I was bedridden, couldn't talk, couldn't walk. Yeah, it was just like, it was the worst feeling in the world. And I must, again, this is what I was meant to say, sorry. Now I understand, at that time, I understood why other people committed suicide or felt helpless and stayed home, didn't want to go out and didn't look after themselves and stuff. A lot of people, you know, say there's a stigma. It's like, oh, how selfish these people are to kill themselves, or to, you know, not think of the family. You know, how can they not think of the family? How can they just leave the family? How selfish of them. you know what? I completely understand what these people go through, and I'm glad. That's why I'm so glad that I experienced what they've experienced, because I have empathy for them. I have sympathy, and I hope to be their voice for all the people that have gone. That it's not a choice. 99.9%, it's not a choice. You really, really feel helpless. You really feel deflated, like no one needs you. You're useless here. You do get that feeling. It's like, what's out there for me now? I feel like this, and I just can't control it. Can't control it. And I was close to that. It's amazing what your brain can do. I was very lucky to. I think I'm very lucky that I'm an outspoken person. I don't like to hide what I feel, what I go through, that's why I always say, please don't hide your feelings. Don't feel like you're going to burden people by talking to them about what you're feeling. I think they would prefer you to burden them with your issue than doing something drastic to yourself, because I think that would bring more damage to them than talking to them. So speak out. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of what you're feeling. It's okay, as they say, it's okay to not be okay. I think the stigma with depression and anxiety, a lot of people, like I said, probably embarrassed to talk about it. How can I be depressed? Well, that's exactly how I felt. I'm always bubbly. I'm always happy. I am truly, truly always happy. And for a doctor to say, Joanne, you have depression and anxiety, that was a massive shock to me. I thought, no way. Me depressed? That's no way. So, yeah, I was completely shocked. So, and I thought to myself, you know what? I need to get through this, and it took, which I was very proud of myself, it took probably 3 months for me to get to being okay. The medication did help, the 100 milligrams. And I must say that 11 years later, I take it every morning because I know I prefer to feel good, survive, than feeling how I felt. And that's why when I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I feel better now, I stopped taking my medication. Sometimes, unfortunately, you need to stay on them for life. Don't be ashamed of taking them. Sometimes your brain just doesn't work as well as everyone else's. You know what I mean? Like, the brain is a powerful thing. It's an organ. So it's like, if it's not working right, fix it. You could take a tablet. Big deal. Get a tablet, get the water, done, and you're better. So if, for example, if you had cholesterol, sugar, diabetes, gosh, how many other diseases there are? Don't you have to take medication for it? Yeah, all right, you change your diet and try and look after yourself in that way. But if you're diabetic and you have cholesterol and seizures or whatever, you're not going to take it because you feel weak that you're taking it. Our body, every part of our body sometimes does not work, and you need to take medication for it. The brain is exactly the same. So don't be embarrassed. Just take it. You're not a failure. You know what I mean? What? You're a failure because you have sugar, or you're a failure you have cancer, or whatever. Oh, I can't find it. This is my chemo. So my body, my blood doesn't work properly. So am I going to be embarrassed that I have to take chemo to try and make myself feel better? No. And that's exactly the same thing with mental health. Your brain's not functioning, take medication. Don't be ashamed of it. Yes, try and get, as much help as you can. But at the end of the day, if your brain's not going to get fixed, you need to fix it with medication. And we're very fortunate to have those. So let's have a look. So yeah, so they were my symptoms. That's what I went through. That's what they think brought it on, was post-traumatic syndrome. And so I started feeling better. I did get a lot of help. I did talk about it a lot. I was around a lot of friends. I had a lot of help at home. I asked for help, which usually I really don't like to. And also I decided to do a course because I supported my kids when they were in school, and I was fortunate enough that I didn't need to work. Hubby thought, no, you stay home, look after the kids, as you know, back in the day, that's what we're supposed to do. So once they finished primary school, I thought, you know what? I need to keep myself busy, keep my brain moving, exercise my brain a little. I ended up doing a course in aged care. I ended up getting Certificate 3 in aged care, and I ended up getting Certificate 3 in home community care. It was the best thing I ever did. I worked with amazing friends, made a lot of amazing friends, looked after the elderly, which was an amazing job. I looked after them in their homes. It brought so much joy into my life to go to their homes and shower them and dress them and take them out for walks and some shopping, and it was just an amazing job to have. And then I'll explain why I don't do that job anymore. So yeah, my anxiety and depression and diagnosis led me to the best job of my life. So I'm sort of grateful. Again, I'm grateful that it did happen to me, because I've just thrived even more. I find that the more I go through in life, the hardships, I try and fight my way through, because I know eventually there's going to be a reason for it. I think if I didn't go through my anxiety and depression, I probably wouldn't have worked in that job that I really loved. So that's all I can say. So how am I get better? I am better now. I think it took me a good 6 months to not fully recover, but to to be normal again, feel normal again. I think that was because of, like I said, support and doing my course, and just trying, to get back to normality, I guess. Fortunately, also, my anxiety and depression didn't come from what people thought about me. There's a lot of people that go through depression, anxiety, because they've got a lot of pressure from work and from friends and family and things like that. It's like they can't deal with people. And I think it's not a weakness. I think it's more that these people that get depression and anxiety are very empathetic people. They've got a lot of empathy and sympathy for others, and they feel a lot. So I believe that people that have issues with work colleagues, family members, friends, is because they keep quiet. They feel like if they open up to these people, that they're not going to like them, and so when they feel like they're being bullied, and especially kids, we can't forget kids at school, why they probably feel depressed, and because they don't feel, they know what it feels like to be bullied. So if they feel, if I retaliate and open my mouth, it's going to hurt their feelings, and they don't want them to feel like how they're feeling as well. And again, also, of course, they don't feel like they fit in, or these bullies make them feel worthless. Of course, you know you're not worthless. You're amazing. Now, you need to understand, if you're a child, hopefully some children are watching, if you're a child and you're being bullied and things aren't going well in your life and with family and stuff, but especially the bullies are probably more depressed and anxious than what you are. Surprise, they are. Because a good person, I would say, a good person would not bully. So what's that saying about these other kids? That poor, look, I feel sorry for bullies as well, because obviously bullies are depressed and anxious as well, and will target you because you're an easy target. So the advice I can give kids these days is to ignore them. Honestly, ignore them. Because, how can I explain it? It's easy to read comments, to hear their words and what they're saying, but really they are just words, and they are just the bully's insecurity. Ignore them. You really, really need to ignore them. If you see a message come up from a bully on your computer or on your iPad or whatever, ignore it. Ignore it. Just be strong and ignore it. It takes more to ignore it. How can I? No. It takes more guts to ignore it than see it. Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to see their message. And if you are being bullied, straight away open up. Go and tell somebody. But I never, ever, ever show your fear to your bullies. Because the more you show fear, the more they're going to keep going. And I suggest this also with people that are struggling in their workplaces, being bullied by their manager and work colleagues. Again, these people are depressed and anxious as well. You're an easy target, or they're jealous of you. Most likely they're jealous of you. So remember that what these people say to you are just words, insecure words. So, and also you have a choice. You have a choice to move away from that workplace. You don't need to give them anything. You don't need to give them a speech or a reason why you're leaving. You just think to yourself, you know what, I'm leaving. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Why am I going to stay here and listen and fight with emotions with myself? So again, depression and anxiety. There are many, many, many reasons why people will get depression and anxiety. And most of the time, like I said, it's empathetic people who have deep feelings and think a lot of thinkers. So the best thing to do, I reckon, is just surround yourself with good people, watch funny movies, and just laugh. Go to your funny place, and just laugh. Just laugh. Because life's so short, and there's so much out there for you, so much opportunities, and if you feel like you can't get a job, one day you will get a job. It might not be the time right now. You know what I mean? There's always a reason. See, like at the moment, I do feel a little bit sad for my son. He's been out of work. Well, he finished year 12 with excellence in mathematics, at the end of the year 12. So he was 18, he's 21 now, and still, since then, he's never had a job. No one's given him an opportunity. Now, I'm sad for him, yeah, I'd love for him to have a job, but I've put it in my head, no, he doesn't have a job right now because he needs to be here with me and help me on my cancer journey. that's what I believe. And I believe that one day he will work. Someone will give him the opportunity. And thank goodness, as much as he does want to work, I don't feel like he's really depressed, which is good. So, I'm always in his ear. Blah, 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 you're a good kid. You're a good kid. And he is an amazing kid. And one day he will thrive. So, again, because I've been what I've been through has taught me to help others to cope with life, I guess. So hopefully my son has learnt a lot from me as well. And also, look, again, I've had Jesus with me the whole way. I pray for him all the time. I pray to him all the time. He's my strength. He's my guide. The more I've got to know him and his ways. Look, a lot of people might say, oh, here she goes, fictional character Jesus. You know what? To me, he's not fictional. He's not fictional and he is real. And I just go by his ways, how he lived, and I recommend you all to just watch him. Watch a movie about him and how amazing he was. At the moment, there's an app, and it's the show's called The Chosen, and it's about Jesus and all the apostles. So, and that is a grouse movie that would explain exactly what type of person he was. He was just so loving and caring and accepted everyone for who they are. If you want to see what a person on this earth should really be like, just get an example from him. There is no other pure person and amazing person than Jesus. So if you can get a little bit of, advice on how to be better and stronger and loving, just watch him, because you'd be amazed. And I thrive to be like him. I'll never be like him, but I can learn from him loving people. Just loving, how much you can love every single person that you... Oh, this is my phone. Every person that you encounter in your life, whoever that may be. It just, the more I think you love others, the more your mind's calmer, the more you get out of life, I think. Like, if you can help people. And remember, when you do recover from all this anxiety and depression, and I'm sure you will, because a lot of people do overcome it, it's hard work, but it's really, really worth it. And I can guarantee you, once you've overcome it, wow, sky's the limit. You'll be there for other people. You become stronger. Again, you'll be more empathetic to others. So, I don't know. For me, that's what I got out of it. I got out of it, I think, pretty good. So, it's been, like I said, 11 years now, and I still take it, and I'm glad I still do, because I guess, sometimes brains don't all work the same. They don't function. So I'm still the same person that I was when I was first, diagnosed with that. Nothing's really changed. Like I said, I've probably become stronger and happier because I appreciate everything that I have. So if you'd like to ask some questions on ways you would like to cope better with it, you can sort of comment right now if you like, or you can private message me and let me know how you go. Now, to those people that are supporting and guiding people with depression and anxiety, my advice is, now this is everything I'm saying, this is just my opinion. It doesn't mean you need to go out and do what I do, but I'm just saying what's worked for me. So now that I've recovered from what I've been through, And this is for other people. This is for people that are supporting, again, people with depression and anxiety. The worst thing you can do is tell them to get over it. That's one. Secondly, would be pushing them to do something to get them going for the day. You know what? These people are allowed to be depressed and they're allowed to be anxious. The more pressure you put on people that are suffering, the more it's going to put into their head that they need to get this fixed. If I don't do what they're doing, I'm going to disappoint them. And that puts a lot of pressure again on them. So allow it. Just allow them to feel what they're feeling. Don't shut them off. If they're crying, hold them. Listen to them. Love them. The most of all you could do is just love them. Don't tell them to get over it. Don't tell them to stop. Don't tell them to be strong. No, you're a strong person. You can do this. No, that's not going to help. That's just going to make things really worse and again put pressure on themselves. So just allow them to be, because that's what they're feeling at that time. So if you're going to stop them, they'll find it'll take a lot longer for them to recover because you're stopping them from feeling what they're feeling and expressing it. Yes, bipolar as well. Bipolar is another mental health condition. If you need to medicate yourself, you take it. You take the medication. I can't stress that enough. You know what I mean? So, and again, Jackie, you need to talk about it. You need to, don't hide it. If you have an episode, you know what? Don't be embarrassed. Just explain it. Yes, I do have bipolar. I'm not going to apologize for it, but this is why I'm feeling what I'm feeling at the moment. So then people will understand instead of putting fuel to the fire. So, yeah, when you're feeling, like for example, when I'm PMSing, you know, hubby knows straight away. I said, husband, I'm PMSing right now. I'm probably going to be in the shits. So deal with me, you know, just be patient with me. And he does. So if you don't open up about your condition, how are people going to know? And then you're gonna start saying to yourself, oh, they're judging me, but they don't know what I'm going through. Of course they don't know what you're going through because you're not opening up about it. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Bipolar, mental health, depression, anxiety, nervous breakdown. I believe mine was probably more of a nervous breakdown at that time because I did have a lot going on. But I was always open to it, and I think that's why I overcome it so quick, I would say. You know, because I was open about it. So yeah, Jackie, I break you every time. Stop it. Life is so good, and we're all going to have our life experience. That's what I call it. Everything that you go through in life is a life experience, and you will overcome it, and you'll be someone else's guide once it goes through. Oh, I love you too, Lorraine, my beautiful next door neighbour. Oh, I love you heaps. It's freezing. I bought my Kathmandu jacket, Lorraine. Oh gosh. So any other questions, guys? Or should I stop talking and wait for you to miss? Oh, Dave, you're a bit late. Good morning. Buck. Oh, it's freezing here. So, should I just babble on a bit more? What else would you want to know? Talk to me, guys. I need a tissue. It's cold. Ooh, ooh, sniffles. I just got a tissue too. Oh gosh. So, guys, what did you learn from that? Did you think, oh, do I need to say any more? But like I said, if I have missed out on anything, if there's anything else you need to know, like supporting someone again with depression and anxiety, who to talk to. Okay, you said those words to me sitting at my table over 4 years ago. It's a life experience. Did I? I remember being there and hugging you and loving you, Terry. How are you going now? Did you get irregular heartbeat with your depression? Oh, definitely. Yep. That was the sore chest and the stomach. Yeah. So what happens when that happens? That's when you start getting your sore tummy and you don't feel like eating. But Angus, and I remember that there was one time when because I wasn't eating at the start, I remember hubby brought me. No, hubby knows that McDonald's is my best friend. Yes, getting there slowly. Good on you, Terry. You sparkle, you sunshine. Oh, I love you too, Danny. Oh, I say, so I was in bed. This is when I was at my worst. It was probably the second week where I couldn't walk and I couldn't talk. I just collapsed all the time, not without even knowing. Just had no energy. Hubby brings me a cheeseburger in a brown bag, and he brings it to bed and he goes like this. He goes, I bought you a cheeseburger. And I just went, and that's when it struck him. He started bawling his eyes out. He thought, yeah, Joanne's not well. Excuse me. So for me to say no to a cheeseburger, he knew something was wrong. So I remember that clearly. Oh, there's little Brianna. You're going to have to watch it on the replay, Brie. I've been told weed tablet keep me calm and help me sleep. What do you think of medical weed? Whatever works, Ange. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, I guess. Medical weed tablet, yep. Why not? If you don't get caught. Can't wait till those things become legal. Yeah, but yeah, what do you think? I prefer it was a medical weed. I'm doing well. It's really, really cold, Brianna. It's freezing. All right, Rose, how are you? Welcome. So, guys, we're near the end here. So, what's the time? Just tell me if I've missed out on anything. Because I've just been babbling. Nope. No questions? I'll be going off soon, so I'll just wait. I'll wait a couple of more minutes. Hi, Helen. I'll just wave and wave. No, you didn't miss it. You can watch it on the replay, Helen. You can watch it anytime. Tomorrow, whenever. You're sticking your tongue out, Jack. Have you got your heater on? No, I'll tell you why. Because Paul and PJ don't like the heater on. It gives them headaches. Am I tired? No. Had a really good day today. I'd appreciate you guys, before I leave, to like my page. I'd really appreciate if you like my page. And it would be even awesome if you can share this video if you think it would help somebody going through depression or a carer that probably that looks after someone with depression. So that would be awesome. But yeah, I'd really appreciate if you like my page and shared this video. That would be awesome. So I'd like to get some feedback as well. So if somebody doesn't agree with what I said or agreed with what I said and needs to ask me more questions, they're more than welcome to message me. So that would be good. All right, guys. That's all right, and that's all right, Grace. Love you. Thanks, Lorraine. I'll see you soon. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Again, thank you very much for watching. Also, like I said, like my page and share it to those that need it, I guess. And if you need to ask me more questions, please message me. Don't hesitate. You're more than welcome to message me anytime. So, and hopefully I can get a good answer back to you. I'll look forward to some more suggestions on videos to share with you. Yes, I used to stuff from headache, so I think it's the ducted hearing. Yeah, hubby's the same. Okay, guys, I'll let you go. Love to hear from you. And remember this, be selfish, but not too selfish. Love yous.